I'm live?
Yes.
Alright, is that going to be comfortable holding it like that? Or you want to like set it down and then angle it up?
Skirt.
That working? Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, welcome everyone to the first live streaming Hayden B. Grillin. We're calling it Chillin with Hayden B. Grillin. And so tonight we're going to make the cowboy cornbread casserole. I'm excited about this. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm hoping that you guys will follow along and are able to follow along. First thing I'm going to do is grab a mixing bowl. I got one right here. I thought I had everything set up that I needed. But first thing we're going to do, if you can put this away, we're going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 400 degrees. And let that start heating up while we do the next step, which is going to be we're going to go ahead and dice up 1 onion and 1 bell pepper. Now remember folks, I am not a professional dicer, so don't judge me too hard. Get that dicer out of here. Have to forgive us folks. Alright, and of course for my dicing, gotta have my little dicer here, makes things a lot easier. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start off with this onion. We're just gonna cut that end off of it. We're gonna do about half of an onion. That'll be about all we need for this. This. Let me grab one other thing. I'm just going to peel that outside layer off of my onion. We don't want that part, right?
Negative.
Negative. Folks, y'all hear the voice in the background? That is my beautiful bride, Miss Brandy. She agreed to help me out, run the camera while I struggle here.
Sorry. Hi.
Add some onion into the dicer. Like I said, I grabbed an onion. The original recipe called for an onion, but half an onion for this will be plenty.
The temperature was 400 degrees.
Right. Now, I'm going to take the onion that I just diced up. I'm going to put it in this bowl for later. Like I said, it's just all prep work. It kind of speeds things up if you knock out the prep work in the beginning. So that way when you start actually cooking and putting it all together, you can just roll right into it. going to do the same thing with our other piece of our onion here.
Okay, Larry says, no need to rush. It's not a race.
I appreciate that, Larry, and just, I don't know why, but
He literally rushes every second of his life, no matter what he's doing. So it's always a race in our house.
alright. Cut that down a little bit. Finish dicing up the onion. Alright. Like I said, having a dicer is not mandatory by any stretch, but I'm not good at dicing. And this is a lot faster than I am at dicing, so I like using something that can help me out. Alright. There's our onion. Just gonna rinse this out real quick. There. I promise, babe, I'll clean this up.
I'm sure.
Now we're going to do the same thing with our bell pepper. We're going to dice up our bell pepper.
Maddie, congratulations on your youngest getting married. That's awesome. We appreciate you being here and for all of the support.
Alrighty. Now with that bell pepper, we're going to remove the seeds. And then just cut it up in little strips so it'll fit in our dicer a little better. Throw that in there. I guess I probably could have put on the items a dicer to help out, but I didn't think about it. Get the bell pepper put in there. I think I got room for this last piece. Well, just gonna do with our bell pepper like we did with the onion, dice it up. Now I got that other bowl out, but I think we got enough room in this bowl. We can just scoop our bell pepper into this bowl with our onion. Alright, now we've got our bell pepper and our onion diced. We're just going to set this bowl to the side for the time being. We're not going to need that for a little bit. Now let me kind of create me some more room here. We're kind of limited on space in this kitchen.
We're trying to work on remedying the space issue. Just bear with us.
I'm not gonna lie, normally when I cut up onion and bell pepper, I normally have the trash can right here next to me so I can just throw the stuff away immediately. But you don't really want to have it in the video. Alright, so now we've got our vegetables diced up, or onion and bell pepper diced up rather. So now we're gonna mix these ingredients into a bowl. And I'm gonna do that because later on when we have to add these into the mixture, it's a lot easier to just dump that bowl into the ground beef rather than taking the time to measure it all out. So let's go ahead and get started with it. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add this 1 tablespoon of paprika.
Hey, pause for just a second. It's Mr. Lloyd Allgood's birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Mr. Lloyd. And I was cutting up the bell pepper just a second ago. And Maddie, your oldest?
Her youngest.
Youngest. So congratulations there. Happy birthday, Mr. Lloyd. It's awesome that you're choosing to spend your birthday with us. Alright, so we're going to add 1 tablespoon of paprika into the bowl. Alright, after we got our paprika, next we're going to come in with a tablespoon of chili powder. Alright, just add that in the bowl. One tablespoon of ground cumin. Alright, add that in. Next, a tablespoon of garlic powder. I'll be doggone, we did have a tablespoon left. Alright. Lastly, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt.
My favorite part.
Randy loves some salt. Alright, so when you got those ingredients in the bowl, can you see in the bowl? Alright, got those ingredients. Now, we're just going to set that to the side along next to our bell pepper and our onion. Alright, now I'm just going to set these spices over here.
Larry, do not put that on us. We have 4 kids already. We do not need another one. And we certainly don't need another boy. 2 is plenty.
Alright, so now we've got 2 cans of navy beans here, right? So before we get started on mixing anything up, I'm going to go ahead and crack the seal on these, and I'm going to drain the juice out of the navy beans. Now, unfortunately, the corn didn't come with that cool little pop top like the navy beans did, so, but we're going to drain the juice out of our corn as well. Now I just set those cans of beans and the corn over by the sink. So now we've got all of our prep work done. All right, everything good?
Yeah. Mr. Lloyd posted something and it says message retracted. Now I'm concerned.
So now that we've got everything mixed in together, or prepped rather, now we're going to get us a mixing bowl. And we're going to grab our milk out. We're going to grab out our eggs. Let's see. And, ooh, make me chicken wing for it.
Sure thing, chicken wing.
Actually, no, you're good. And we're going to grab our 2 boxes of Jiffy Mix. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crack 2 eggs and put them into the bowl. This is probably not a good bowl to use for this.
There's metal ones right here if you'd rather.
Yeah. Because these eggs here, we picked these eggs up at Grill Master, Barbecue
And
Supply and Seasoning. And these eggs,
They're real eggs.
they're real eggs.
They're not Tyson.
They don't crack all that easily. So go ahead and add our eggs in, shell free, of course.
Hi Lois, thanks for jumping in and joining us.
All right. So now we've got our 2 eggs. Next, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of milk. Into the bowl. Followed by, sorry, keep running back and forth. Followed by a 1/2 cup of sour cream. All right. Add in that.
Thank you, Larry. I'm going to be honest with you. Every time I touch the little camera holder thing here, it kind of jiggles a little bit, so sorry. It does. Well, I guess my hands are shaking. I don't know.
All right, so now we've got our 2 eggs, 3/4 cup of milk, and 1/2 cup of sour cream. We're just going to whisk those ingredients together. Just kind of whisk them in until it's a nice smooth finish, or smooth consistency. Here in just a second I'll show you guys the batter, or the mixture. As you stir that around, you can feel that sour cream. At first it's real thick, but you can feel it free up, and it's just kind of a yellowish color mix. So now that we've got that whipped in together, all right, next we're going to add in 2 cups of Jiffy Mix, or 2 boxes, I'm sorry, not 2 cups. 2 boxes of Jiffy. think we like this recipe so much because we are huge fans. We love
Yes.
Jiffy Mix.
We do.
So
We're really not real cornbread kind of people around here. Give us all the sugary Jiffy.
add second box in. Alright, so once you got your 2 boxes in, now you're just going to whisk that all in together. Again, you're going to whisk this until it's lump free.
Same over here, Maddie.
Alright. I mean, this is pretty well lump free. I mean, it's still just a few little specks in there, but that'll be okay.
Do it right.
Well, no, I mean, that's
That's right.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But
Thank
yes,
you.
this is right.
You're the cook. I'm just the taste tester.
Just the what?
Taste tester.
Alright, one last thing I need to grab. I'm sorry.
They said I'm doing an amazing job, so
Well, good.
you're welcome.
Good.
I expect to be compensated.
Alright. Alright, so now that we've got our Jiffy Mix added in, next we're going to add 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese.
That goes directly into the cornbread?
Yes.
Huh, cool. Never realized that.
Yep, that'll go in right. We'll dump that in here, right into the batter. And then these jalapeno slices. Alright, now we're going to add 1/2 cup of them into the mix. Small kitchen, small amount of utensils, you know. But we make it work. Oh, that was just all juice.
Did you just pour that?
The juice. Alright, so we're going to add us 1/2 cup of these sliced jalapenos directly into the batter. And now we're just going to stir this all in together. Get this all nice and mixed in.
Bryson, I know you had mentioned panning the camera in.
Yes.
It won't allow me to do that.
It won't allow you to zoom? Okay. Alright. Well,
But that's okay.
we were shooting, it's the first time doing anything live, and so I didn't know like if we would be able to run the camera just like you normally would, taking a picture or a video. So I was going to have Brandy zoom in from time to time, but she said that that feature wasn't available, I guess, on live. But so I added that 1/2 cup. I think I got more juice than I did anything. So I just took me a teaspoon of jalapenos, and I'm going to add that into the mix here. I want more peppers.
When in doubt, add more jalapenos.
I mean, I'll pay for it later, but I wanted more
Sir,
peppers.
no.
Alright, so we've got our batter mixed in together. Now we're gonna set this next to our bowl out of the way, because we're not gonna need that for a little bit. So let me get that put up. Oh, you know what? We're not ready for this yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get our 9x13 baking dish out. Get our skillet out. Now it is time
Oops. That was your charger.
Oh,
It's okay. No big.
Now we're going to take us 1 pound of ground beef. And we're going to put that into our skillet.
Bryson, are you going to put on a halftime show for them while you're baking?
Um,
Do you have a performance planned?
no. No.
Darn. Sorry, guys.
Alright.
You need to turn that on.
Yeah. Alright, so how to get my recipe out. So we got our pound of ground beef in, putting this onto a medium heat. We're just going to brown this ground beef.
Everyone says you're doing great.
Well, I appreciate it, everyone. I really do. I don't really think about the dead time, like when we're waiting on ground beef to brown up.
Do you want to go on and grease your pan? Get that knocked out? Does that take, does this one need greasing?
On this recipe, I've never greased it, so
I don't believe it's ever stuck.
no. Tell you what, when I had this downtime while I'm cooking, it's a perfect opportunity
To ask questions.
to
If anyone has
ask
any
questions.
questions.
If anyone has questions, by all means, absolutely.
PJ, what question do you have?
Oh, PJ.
PJ wants to know what got you into doing this initially.
Well, that's a funny question. My wife was working in Jonesboro, which is about 30 minutes away.
Took me about close to an hour to get
In the afternoons,
Yeah.
about an hour to get home with the afternoon traffic, right? So she'd get off at, what, 5:30?
I mean, all different times, really, just depending on what exactly I had going on that day. But I would get home typically between 6 and 7 o'clock.
And so, I mean, prior to that, Brandy did all the cooking, really. I mean,
Not very well.
and so when she took that job, if I waited for her to get home to start cooking, then, you know, it would be even later before we would eat. So I started doing the cooking, and it was the usuals: the hamburger helper, spaghetti, burgers, hot dogs, chili dogs, anything that was
Anything basic and easy.
right? But then that got kind of routine. It got boring eating the same things over and over. So I started venturing out looking for recipes that I could cook on the grill and that I could cook here in the house. And that's when I discovered making a new recipe and trying it for the first time, and it tasted really good. That had me hooked. It become addicting, really. I mean, like, I wanted to cook something new, and Brandy kind of gets a little, I think, not overwhelmed, but
We have something new like every night, and sometimes I need something not so new.
but so that's what started it all, was looking for something new, something to try something new, because I was like, wow, that turned out really good. Let me see if this will turn out really good, and it did. So then let me see if this will turn out really good. So it's really just
It's kind of become fun and like a hobby for him more than anything. He really
Yes.
enjoys it, like in doing all the research and coming up with what all he needs to get, and and how to make things better. And you guys' input really does factor a lot into that as well.
Yes. Yes.
Also, a fun fact. So we actually cook 3 different meals every single night. Our kids are incredibly picky. We've got one who's autistic, and he will eat the exact same meal every night, and he's not comfortable with changing it up, and we're not comfortable with forcing him to. And then our daughter pretty well only eats pasta. So definitely cooking 3 different meals every night. It's also kind of fun.
Yeah.
Not really so much fun. I believe it was Maddie Rawson asked where you get all of your seasonings. Really kind of a little bit of everywhere.
A lot of them come from Walmart. Like any of the fire and smoke seasonings come from Walmart. The Granny Moore's Good Rub and the Granny Moore's Gangster. A guy, he has a channel or a page, I guess you call it, on Instagram. And I reached out to him one day and told him what I was doing. And he was kind enough to send me a bottle, that initial bottle, the Granny Moore's Good Rub. And then when he come out with the Gangster, he sent me a bottle of it. And
we love their spices.
I do, especially their Gangster on like steak or hamburger. I mean,
can't go wrong.
Used to, I was all about Lowry's marinade on my steaks, but once I got the Gangster, just give me a little bit of olive oil to put on the meat first as a binder, and then give me that Gangster and let it do it all on its own. But yeah, so the spices have really kind of come from an assortment of places. I've had PJ, he sent me some spices, seasonal salt, which we tried, and it was really good.
It is really good. I use that on stuff as well.
But yeah, so pretty much Walmart though. And then I've got a few seasonings. I want to mention again is Grillmaster Barbecue Supply and Seasoning right here in Paragould. They've got some seasonings that they've given to me to try it on the video and try it for them, so that way they know what to tell their customers if it's any good or not. So
let's see here. Zeb asked what cooking method you like best, and I already know the answer to that.
I like grilling.
He would grill every single night.
Hey, quick story.
If time was permitting.
Quick story. When I started this channel, I was thinking Hayden B Grillin. We're going to focus this 100% outside grilling, right? And after about the 3rd night in a row of grilling,
I get sick of grilled food real quick.
The 4th night, Brandy asked me, what are we having for dinner tonight? And I told her what it was, but it was going to be on the grill. And her exact response was, the grill again? So I had
It's good. It's just, I think that my issue is most of the grilled food, it just is pretty rich. And so, also, I am a big fan. I grew up in Southeast Arkansas, like Bryson, but I love comfort food. I love the casseroles and the cornbreads and beans and all the comfort stuff. So
yes, Zeb, I would 100%. If I could grill every night, I would grill every night. But after realizing that maybe that's not,
it's not conducive of a lot of people's schedules, for sure.
So then I kind of altered and changed the channel to doing more in the house, which was fun because I got to do more research to find more recipes. Hence, old Barbecue Pit Dog labeled me the Casserole King. So, worked out pretty good.
Larry, we're the same way. Actually, we aren't, but Bryson is that same way. Larry says that cooking for him is like therapy, and I definitely see that a lot with Bryson. I feel like it gives him something productive to do to take his mind off things.
Yes. Very therapeutic cooking. It became my release, so to speak. If I'm having a bad day or aggravated, I come in here and cook, and for however long that meal takes to cook, I can just focus 100% on, cowboy cornbread casserole or that steak that I got on the grill or whatever. So, yes, I 100% agree. It's become more therapeutic, and I think that's why I enjoy cooking so much. is that's my release. That's my my outlet, I guess you could call it.
It also gets him out of doing evening and bedtime routines with the kids, so he also enjoys that. Don't let him fib.
Okay, so it was a double whammy. An unintended victory.
I would increase that a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm also one who typically cooks on higher heat. Which is probably why you're the better cook.
I put this at a medium heat initially, but I'm gonna go ahead and bump that up to not quite a full medium high. I'm at about 6.5 on the stovetop at the moment. So y'all give me some suggestions on what y'all like to see on Hayden B Grillin. I'm always looking for new ideas. Mr. Zeb and Ange called me the other night and gave me an idea, or gave me something to try, and I really appreciated it. But y'all hit me up with some ideas. Always welcoming a new recipe, especially if it's on the grill.
Thank you, Maddie. McLean really enjoyed doing that video. McLean actually, he is the one of our children who is autistic, and he's typically really shy and does not like to be the center of attention by any means, but he enjoyed every second of that, and it was so rewarding, I guess is the word I would use, to watch him. Like at the beginning, he was really shy, and then he really kind of grew into himself and got confident. It was excellent. Michelle J asks, do you ever do pressure cooking?
I've never done pressure cooking. And to be honest with you, the last time I remember being around pressure cooking, I was a kid at Granny's house, and she was always cooking beans or something in there. But no, I've never done pressure cooking. Sounds like we need to get a pressure cooker.
We do, and that makes me a little nervous. Like, my mom she has an air fryer, and it's just my mom cooking for herself, so she doesn't cook a whole lot, and when she does, she doesn't want to get the whole oven going and the stove and all of that, so a lot of times she just uses her, it's an air fryer, isn't that what it's called? But she loves it, and she preaches about it all the time, and I would like to get one of those and start trying that, but also I'm scared.
Sorry guys, you're gonna hear a little sound in the background there. I don't know how she does it, but Brandy can drain the grease.
Do you want me to do that?
No, I'll just do it on that. She can drain the grease out of a skillet without using a strainer.
I don't use a strainer for anything ever because that is a waste of a dish that does not have to be cleaned. I'm all about making cleanup easier. Maddie, that's my number one concern. Like, I'm scared that something's gonna blow up. That really freaks me out. Miss Linda, tonight Ryson is making his cowboy cornbread casserole. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Instapot. That's the word I was looking for, PJ. Michelle, I use the paper towels a lot as well to get the grease out of the meat. I think Bryson's just scared.
I am. Alright. Squeeze back here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Alright, so we just drained the grease rather than using paper towels. So now I'm going to pour in that diced onion and bell pepper. I'm going to dump that in there. And then we're just going to kind of stir this around, get this nice and mixed in together. And we're going to stir this, like I said, we're still at that 6.5 heat mark. But we're going to mix this around until the onions start to break down and get soft. And you'll really be able to smell the onions as they
It smells
cook
so
down.
good.
It's delicioso. Alright. And not only does it smell good, but it really looks pretty neat.
It does.
The ground
I would
beef and the diced
absolutely eat it like that.
onion, bell pepper. Alright, so while that's starting to cook, I'm going to get everything over here that we're going to need. Corn.
Uh-huh. You need the seasoning now?
Yep. Alright. So,
Ready for this or no?
I'm gonna do all that over there. I believe.
Done with these?
Yes.
Done with milk?
Yeah, milk and the cheese and the sour cream. Alright, onions aren't quite there yet.
How do you know when your onions are done?
Just when they get soft. I mean, there's no
Enough.
real.
Same for the peppers.
Yeah. But just once they get soft, and the first time I made this, I was kind of worried because, you know, I drained all my grease out, right? But as it cooks, it kind of generates its own little juice to help the onions and the bell peppers. Alright. Well, onions are good and soft. Let me check one of these peppers here. Oh yeah. Yeah, so my onions and peppers are done. So now we're going to add our navy beans. Can 1. Can 2. Followed by, come on, can of corn. Followed by our can of corn. Now once you get those in there, just kind of stir them in. Kind of get them all nice and mixed in together. I did make a mistake, or not make a mistake, but I forgot to prep one thing. Alright folks, I apologize. I forgot to get a can of tomatoes prepped. Now these are a can of diced tomatoes. So you got your 2 cans of navy beans, 1 can of corn, 1 can of tomatoes. And again, we're going to stir these in. Get this all nice mixed in together. What is it?
Sorry. PJ said he's already starting to eat it like that. And honestly, I'm right there with you, PJ. That looks great.
Alright. Now, we've got our canned goods in there. Now we're going to come back with that seasoning that we all mixed in together. And we're just going to sprinkle that in. Now we're going to mix this all in together. Now, once you mix your seasoning in, right, you're going to cook this until all these seasonings really start to become fragrant. I know it may sound kind of silly, but this cooks for about a minute or two, and you can really start to smell those spices really all working in together. So just stir this around, let it cook. I'm telling you, it's smelling amazing.
You could absolutely eat that like that, just on chips.
Call it some goulash and eat it.
Go for it. Even throw off some rice in there or something. That's my Bennett coming out in me.
Alright. But also, you're not just waiting for the fragrant or the spices to become fragrant. Also letting these tomatoes, letting them break down a little bit. So they're good and soft. Alright. Ready for the next step?
Let's do it.
Are y'all ready for the
Let's
next
get
step?
that bad boy in the oven.
Alright. So now we're going to make sure we got plenty of room over here to work. Our meat mixture is done. The spices are very fragrant. Starting to bubble a little bit. So now we're going to take that mixture. I don't know the best way, but we're just going to pour this into our 9x13 baking dish. And I apologize, I'm blocking the camera at the moment. We're going to pour this in here.
Yummy.
All right. So now, where is it? All right, I'm just going to set that there because it's hot and let it cool off. All right. Now we're just going to come in and just kind of smoothing this out a little bit. Try to get it nice and even as possible. About like so. There we go. All right. There's that part. Next, we're going to come back with that batter that we made earlier. Got a pepper stuck in my in my whisk.
That's nice.
And then we're just going to pour this onto the top, just like so. Now I'm going to get me a scraper here and scrape all that out so that way we don't leave any of this behind.
Do you want me to grab you a scraper out?
There's one right there. I was really trying to get that pepper off my whisk. want my peppers.
You did add extra.
I did.
It'll be okay.
Alright. We'll get the rest of this in here. Now that we've got that on there, we're just going to take our little rubber scraper or spatula here. Just kind of smoothing this out. Try to get this as even as possible on top of the meat mixture. It's a little bit runnier than it had been in the past. The batter is, because it has so much jalapeno juice in that measuring cup, but it'll be alright. We can work with it. Alright folks, hold on just a second. Alright, so now this bad boy is ready to go in the oven. We already got our oven preheated at 400 degrees. We're going to put it in for 30 minutes. Now at the end of that 30 minutes, we're going to check it with a toothpick to make sure that our cornbread is cooked all the way through. You don't want to bite into it and then the cornbread is lumpy in the middle.
Very important step.
It's not terrible, but it's not the best. So we're going to lower that down. Now this is getting cooked uncovered. Alright. Set a timer. Alright, 30 minutes. So now the original idea, so that way we weren't just sitting here for 30 minutes, was we would conclude it right now. But if y'all have any more questions or have any comments, we can stay live as long as you guys would like to. Like I said, we got 30 minutes until we check this, so yeah. I mean, if y'all want to conclude it, we can conclude it, but I don't know if you can pause.
Can conclude it and then hop back on in 30 minutes when it's done.
Is there an option there to pause, maybe?
Why couldn't you start a new?
I don't know.
Sorry guys, we're really new to this.
But yes, so that's what we'll do. We'll come back live here in 29 minutes. If any of you want to jump back on to see how this turns out, that'll give me a chance to kind of clean up my mess here. But if you guys don't want to jump back on, I totally get it. But I want to thank each of you for getting on this. This was new.
It's been fun.
It has been fun listening to Brandy talk and interact with you guys. So I really, really appreciate y'all taking time to hop on this. And it's been fun. So we
my bad.
So
Sorry guys.
we want to thank you for spending your afternoon with us. And we hope y'all have a good night. If you don't come back, we hope to see you back. But we'll see you later.